Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be taking a look at and reviewing the SYMA X9 flying car. Now this one's interesting. This is fairly new on the scene, and this is basically a quadcopter, a mini quadcopter, which is also a remote control car, RC car, radio control car, and you can drive it on the ground and you can also fly it. And so this is going to be interesting. This is the black version. This also comes in these three different colors. We got black, red, and white here, depending on your taste. This is actually a review model from gearbest.com. I'll have the links down in the description of where you can pick this up. I'm really anxious to try this one out. We're going to be unboxing this, setting it up, and then taking it out, doing some park flight in the park, some flight in the park, flight in the house, testing out all of its abilities, driving on the ground, flying, and all that kind of stuff. And then coming on back to the bench and doing a final pros and cons afterthoughts. So let's go ahead and get it out of the box real quick and see what we get. Okay, so we got our controller, little bag of goodies here, and here is the craft itself. The X9, we got our instruction book. Okay, so first glance at the X9. Pretty cool looking. SYMA is known for some pretty stable flyers, so it'll be interesting to test this out. So I'm just going to kind of get a look at this. Pretty neat looking wheels. Got some foam tires on here. And here we can see we have lights in the back, lights in the front for orientation. Looks like the wheels do turn independently. When I initially saw this, I thought maybe it was just you would turn by the way the propellers moved, but it actually has its own steering linkage system in the car, so that's interesting. We've got an on-off switch here on the bottom, and then we have our battery latch here. Let's take this battery out, see what we get. So it does look like we're getting a little bit more of a thicker, compact battery, not like the long, flat, slender type that are prevalent with normal quadcopters. And what we're getting here is a 600 mAh, 3.7 volt little LiPo with the micro Wakera low-C connector on top. Okay, so that's the X9 itself. You got 4 props here. It looks like the screws are on the top of the props. So if you want to change the props, the screws are on the top. Pretty self-explanatory. Then let's see what we get in the bag here. A little bag of goodies they provide in the package as well. Looks like they do give you 4 extra propellers, so that's great. SYMA's usually really good at giving 4 extra propellers, which will really be great for somebody that's learning how to fly and they're going to be crashing and stuff, to have extras right out of the box. They give you a screwdriver for changing props or taking apart the car here. Also, this remote controller does come with a screw in the back, so you're going to need this screwdriver to take out the screw on the remote controller to put in the batteries. They give you the charger, so this will plug into any cell phone charger or computer and charge up that battery right there. Screwdriver, and let's go ahead and take a look at the remote control real quick and see what the controls do. Okay, and then as far as controls go, when you are in flight, the left hand is going to be your throttle, so this will be your lift for gaining altitude. Then you have your yaw for turning left and right, and then your pitch going forward and back, and your roll, rolling left to right on this side. Then you have your trim buttons for a pitch and roll, and also your trim button here for your yaw. Usually this one here is for video and pictures. This one is not going to be having a camera, so we won't have to worry about this button here. Then if you want to switch your flight modes for slower or faster operation for rates, you just click this in, so it'll give you faster pitch and roll. And then on the right trigger, this will be your flipping capability, so you click that in and do any direction on the right stick and you should be able to do flips. And these are just all dummy buttons down here. There's no function. Then in the back of the controller, we've got 4 AA batteries, and we have this door that clips in real nice, so shouldn't have to be putting in that screw back in the back. And then basically for land operation, I guess you're just going to want to make sure that the throttle is all the way down, and to drive it, you just push forward, and you're going to be just steering left and right with this. So forward, back, and steering left and right. So all the control seems to be just on this this control here for your land use. Then it looks like this one does have a gyro calibration where if it is flying kind of off and you can't seem to get it flying level, you just go ahead and once you have it on, you just go ahead and put your both sticks to the bottom right. So we're going to power this up real quick and go ahead and just test that real fast and see how it does on the bench before we go for our flights. What I would recommend doing on this one is go ahead and plug in the battery first before you try to put the battery in. It is rather difficult to plug in the connector when the battery's in the craft. So I would just plug in first and then go ahead and slip your battery in. Okay, so turning on, you can see we got lights in the front and the back. Some nice LEDs for orientation, that's great. Very visible, highly visible. And you're going to turn on the controller. So to bind this, you can see how they're slow flashing now that it sensed the controller. Now I'm going to go up and down. Okay, we have the lights on solid, so now we're ready to fly. So to calibrate the gyros, just get it on a very level surface and bring both sticks to the bottom right. So when we do that, we can see them flashing. They're going to do a fast blink, and that means it's calibrating the accelerometer or gyros. And then we're ready to go. So if you do have the throttle down, we can already see it steering and driving. So I'm just basically pushing forward with the throttle all the way down, pushing forward, back, and left and right. It seems like it's very, very responsive to our controls just on the bench here. I'm going to give it a little throttle. We should see the prop spin. So great. So it seems like it's working great on the bench. Let's go ahead and take it out for a park flight and then do some house flight as well. Go driving around on the sidewalks and stuff and seeing how the thing does. And then come on back to the bench and do kind of a final pros and cons, afterthoughts, and see how it did. All right, let's go fly.